A week ago, I went out to the East Coast to visit my family. We had a little family reunion out in the middle of nowhere in Virginia, out on this beautiful place by the Chesapeake. And I went out to get the car refueled. And this is pretty far out, a very rural area. And I'm at this gas station. And as I'm fueling up the car, I look up and you know they've got those advertisements on top of the gas pumps. Well, somebody had come in and stuck a bunch of CDs. These are like straight up right out of your CD-ROM, like burnt at home CDs with a Sharpie written on them, what's on them. And so the first one is, I think it was 3 or 4 CDs. The first one was something like, Jesus is Coming Soon by Pastor, whatever his name was. I was like, okay, this is very interesting. Like this, they're preaching the gospel. The next one is COVID as a sign of the end times. I'm like, okay, I mean, questionable, but perhaps. The next one was Mark of the Beast, how you need to avoid all vaccines. I was like, okay, here we go. And the fourth one was some conspiracy, Illuminati and COVID are just, Bill Gates is going to put you in prison. It was some just crazy scheme. And at that point, obviously, I wasn't paying attention. But it was interesting that such are the end of the times. And folks, you see it every 3 or 4 years. Stock market crashes, and you see the same thing. Oh, that's it. It's the end times. We had just the war in Afghanistan and Iraq, and it's the end of the times, and people like anything happens, and all of a sudden it's the mark of the beast. I don't want to be one that puts out conspiracy theories or speculates on what that looks like. I think God will make that clear for us. But it is something that as we see all of this, as we see tragedies strike, God allows those signs to happen to pique our heart, to poke at it, to nudge and gently pull at it and remind us that hardships will increase. And all of these things should point our heart to Him. It should make us long for the return of our Lord. I'll share this passage with you, Luke chapter 12. Verse 35, Jesus says, stay dressed for action and keep your lamps burning. He's going to draw this illustration of a young man that is off to be wed, to pick up his bride. He says, stay dressed, keep your lamps burning, and be like men who are waiting for their master to come home from the wedding feast, so that they may open the door for him at once when he comes and knocks. Blessed are those servants whom the master finds awake when he comes back. Truly, I say to you, he will dress himself for service and have them recline at the table, and he will come and serve them. And if he comes in the second watch or the third, finds them awake, blessed are those servants. But it starts with this: stay dressed for action. Be ready. You cannot run a marathon with your pants around your knees. You got to gird up. You got to get sleek. You got to lose some weight. Be ready. As things happen around us, he says, be ready. Lose the extra fat in your spiritual life. Lose that which is bogging you down. Why? You've got to be ready for the long wait. He says, keep your lamps burning. It's going to take some time. Hopefully you have some extra oil. It's funny, we know the parable about the 10 virgins, and some had the oil and some had not. Well, here's the parable about the men. And he says the same thing. Keep your lamps burning, men. I hope you've prepared the oil necessary. I hope you've prepared the room for the groom to come back, and be like men who are waiting for their master to come home from the wedding feast, so that they may open the door to him at once when he knocks. He doesn't have to beat the door down. He doesn't have to call out to the church and say, are you ready for me? Do I need to wake you up? Do I need to, when you come home and the keys, you don't have your keys and the door's locked and you're trying, oh man, hopefully I left some window open somewhere so that I can wake somebody up. No, the door, you should welcome me. Is the church ready so that when Christ comes, we welcome him? And he says, if he comes in the second watch or the third and finds them awake, blessed, because he will serve them. Waiting is awesome. It seems tiresome now. It's long. It's going to be the second watch, the third. We may feel like, man, we're in the fourth watch. Lord, it's 6 a.m. I've been up all night. We're getting loopy. It's been tough. But it's so awesome when the groom comes back and says, I appreciate you so much. Let me serve you. Waiting is awesome when you're waiting for the master to come. Waiting is awesome when you know that when the master comes, he will love you unconditionally. Waiting is awesome when you know that he's going to come and serve you because you've waited for him. God bless you.